Hello and welcome. My name is Andy Crook and I'm your host for today's training topic on attracting more customers or lead generation, depending on how you want to look at it. So that's an interesting point right at the beginning of this video that I want to sort of talk about. And it's something that we don't often consider. I think that's the right term to use here, is that we use language that is familiar and comfortable to us that may not be familiar and comfortable to your customers. And the reason I start with that, if you like, almost off the wall, nothing to do with, or appears nothing to do with attracting new customers, is when I wrote down, and if you've seen any of my other videos, especially the one on content creation, you know that I write around about it's 200 topics that I want to talk about, which will take me about 4 years. Down as I wrote leads, that's what I wrote. And if I put that out as a subject, as garage owners, not many of us use the term leads or lead generation, which is what I've put in brackets as the title for tonight's training topic. So I had to think about what would the language be of my potential audience. And that's a great place to start when we're talking about attracting new customers, is do you talk their language? And that is where I'm starting with tonight, which wasn't the plan, but it just occurred to me now as you can see, I'm a little bit late. Sorry about that. I was having some difficulties finding my phone holder. And as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I was sort of going through it in my mind, and I thought I'm going to start by talking about language and appropriate language, because we're going to talk about keywords in a second, and that's another one. The keywords that we search for when we're looking for something may not be the same keywords as our customers. So I was thinking about what is the language of garage owners when it comes to lead generation, and it's inquiries. Isn't it? The number of inquiries. Potential customers, do we use that language? Possibly, but I don't think it is that. It's inquiries and how many quotes have I done and how many jobs did I get. They're more likely to be the thing, and attracting new customers. And attracting new local customers is what this training topic's about. And what we're going to focus on a lot is attracting local customers with a great Google business profile. It's been a while since I talked about Google Business, so much so that it's changed names since the last time I spoke about it in a training topic, so I thought it was long overdue. And one of the things I'd like to talk about as well is when you use the keywords and the language, which is another way of talking about keywords, and what you put on your social media, your Google Business profile, your website, all of those things will dictate what type of customer you attract. You'll only attract the types of customers that your keywords or your search terms, if it was another way of putting keywords, are going to be picked up by. So that is a great starting point. So obviously mine was called leads, but actually it's about attracting new customers. Attracting more of the right customers would be another way of putting it. So what is Google Business Profile? Well, Google Business Profile is what used to be called Google My Business. And if you haven't got a Google Business Profile up to date, with all the right information that we're going to talk about in a second, then I suggest your atomic action point for today is at some point in the next 7 days, between now and next Wednesday, you make sure that you address your Google Business Profile for your business or businesses. Because it's so important when it comes to increasing your online visibility. A good Google Business Profile makes your business more visible in local search results on Google. The first thing most people see after a search is the map with the first top 3 businesses in it for that search term. That's a local search. What you want to be able to do is, for the keywords or the language your customers use when they're searching for a business like yours, is you are in that top 3 and on the Google map. And that's what a great Google Business Profile will do. And if you're looking for the right type of customers, we can help you increase that. Because when potential customers search for products or services that you offer in the area, your profile can appear in that local park, yeah, and on the organic search results, which gives you more opportunities to win that customer. Now, I haven't got the actual figures because I couldn't find a reputable source for them, but something like 80+% of all searches are done on Google. And that is amazing, isn't it? And when Google then give you, and this is the best bit, it's a free service whereby you can promote your business for free on Google, and you can appear in the local pack on Google search. That is priceless. If you were to pay Google to appear there, I wonder how much that would cost for every search term that you want to be found for. I'm going to say thousands, if not tens of thousands every year, depending on how much you value this service. So what do we need to do in terms of making our Google business profile go from we've got one to good to great? And that's what I'm going to go through essentially in the next few minutes. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. Now, to garage owners, that doesn't mean a lot. So once again, we go back to this, speaking the language of your customers or your potential customers. So for those of you who know what SEO is, apologies, I'm going to try and explain what SEO is. So search engine optimization is the content on your website that Google uses to promote your business in terms of a search for a specific keyword or search term. So, you know, the box at the top of any search engine, whatever you type in there will, and you can put something very similar in there and get very, very different results depending on what a website is more set up to be found for. Now, some websites are not set up to be found for anything. It's just content, and it's pretty ad hoc whether or not you will end up in a search result. Other websites are over optimized, i.e. there's too many search words in there. The search word that you want to appear for is repeated too many times in the text, which means that Google will penalize you for that as much as it will penalize you for not having it in there enough. So SEO, it's a fine balance. It's a skill in itself. It's one that if you don't understand it, you either make it your hobby and you get really good at it and you get found for the right type of work, or you get a professional to it, you get outside help. The best bit of news about Google Business Profile is you don't need to be an expert. You just need to do a few things well. And I'll tell you what those things are. The most important thing on your Google Business Profile is that you have up-to-date and accurate content. That is probably the number one thing. If we have to take an atomic action from today, is make sure your Google Business Profile is up-to-date and accurate. And what do I mean by up-to-date and accurate? We'll come to that in a second. So the first thing that needs to be accurate is your name, address, and phone number, sometimes called the NAP, name, address, and phone number. And the name, address, and phone number format that you use on Google My Business Profile, should be the same one as that you use everywhere across all online presence. So your social media has the same address, the phone number's in the same format, everywhere. If you get the name, address, and phone number consistent across your offering, it makes it easier for search engines to index you. They recognize that business as being the same. I know that sounds a little bit petty, but you remember you're dealing with computers. So if you start with +44, drop the 0 and your area code on some, and 0 and the area code for others, that's seen as different. So you want to get that consistency across your business. If you use the full word industrial estate on some listings and INDEST on other listings, the computers that trawl all over the internet looking for your content will see that as different. You need consistency, and it needs to be accurate. So the phone number, it sounds obvious, needs to be right. The address needs to be right. It needs to be the same and accurate. Now, also up to date. So if there's been a change for anything on your business, you need to make sure that change is reflected on your Google Business Profile. So when you go to Google Business Profile and you want to change any of this stuff, the first thing you need to get correct is your business name. Is your business name the same everywhere on the internet? I would say the two most important places this needs to be the same is your Google Business Profile and your actual website and your website address. So if you're limited company, in full words on some, and LTD on others, you need to get them so they're both the same. I know we're talking about splitting hairs here, but that's really, really important. The next bit about your business information that you need to make sure is correct on Google Business Profile is your business category. What is your primary business category? And then what other things do you want to be found for? And then your description. This is a brilliant opportunity to sell yourself to your potential customers and use the words, the keywords, the language that your customers will use to find you. When your business opened, your contact information, remember we spoke about making sure the phone number format is correct, the website, your website address is correct, the short name for your business, and if you've got a menu link, where is that? Where is the menu link on your business? And then your location address, make sure the address is correct. And the service area. So what parts of the local geography do you want to be found for? And now, probably really, really important is your opening hours. If you have the opening hours on your website and your opening hours on your Google Business Profile, make sure they're the same. Make sure while you're there, the opening hours are your opening hours. If you're no longer open on weekends, make sure it says you're closed on weekend. If you have special hours, add them. And there's more you can do as you go down the various things that you can talk about on there. But it's basically contact, location, hours, and more. They're the categories that you need to make sure are correct on your Google Business Profile for it. If you like, the start of getting from having one to having a good one to having a great one. The next thing I'm going to talk about is adding pictures. Pictures that stand out to your customers are what you want here. The first and most important picture is the cover picture. Then it's your logo, and then it's any relevant pictures that you could put on your Google, your business profile. If the pictures on your Google Business Profile are, shall we say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old and have never been updated, do they currently reflect what is happening in your business today? Do they actually reflect the actual business activities? Does your cover pic, is it one that you want to be representative of your business? Does the cover pic look like something that you would want people to look at? So a tip I used to use is I would look at all the pictures on what was the old Google, My Business way of doing things, is I would look at the one that was viewed the most times, and that type of picture, the content within that picture, is what I would have as my cover pic. Unfortunate for me, it was a picture of my or the workshop dog that always got the most views. Probably not the best thing to have as your cover pic, but a picture maybe of your staff is a picture of humans typically get more views than a picture of a car. Then you'll get the idea of what should be your cover pic. You want something. Remember, people are just scrolling through the internet. When they search for something, does the picture they see stop them in their tracks and go, that looks interesting, what's that? Or that picture is exactly what I'm looking for in the garage. Something to think about. Is your cover pic a good picture? Is it representative of your business? Your logo, is it the same logo? I seem to be repeating myself a lot here about how everything needs to be the same and consistent. Is it the logo you now use? Is it the logo you used 20 years ago? Or is there no logo? Logo, next thing to consider. Make sure that that's recent, up to date and accurate. And then the relevant pictures are the pictures that you're in control of on your Google Business Profile, the pictures you want people to see. Or are they out of date? or do they not really represent what happens in that business now? Remember, customers can add pictures, so always make sure everything's neat and tidy. Otherwise, you might have pictures you don't want associated with your business. So that's, if you like, the SEO bit. There's what makes you found and what makes people want to look at your business when you set up your Google Business Profile. The next bit I want to talk about very quickly is Google Business Profile allows interaction with customers via messaging, call forwarding, posts, and a website or a link to your website. Interaction is the key to winning customers. Only turn on messaging if you intend to answer the messages. Now, a lot of people don't understand this about Google Business Profile, but if you do not regularly answer messaging, any message from Google Business Profile within 24 hours, you may be penalized. If you regularly leave messages unanswered, you will be penalized. You will drop down the rankings because you're saying, because it's what Google calls the experience on a website or online. The online experience, Google wants to get everyone's online experience to be really, really good. So if you interact with a business and they don't interact back, that is seen as low value to Google. So you will be penalized. So only turn on messaging if you can answer the messages. To give you an idea, out of all the ways that people can communicate or interact with my business online, I get about 300 interactions a month. That's 10 a day. If you can't deal with that number of messages, turn it off. Because if you leave people waiting, you will be penalized. Call forwarding is simply when they click on there, their mobile phone will call the number that's on there. Your posts, can you have comments? Do people interact with them? Do they look at them? It's your chance to put something out there. Now, when you put posts, a lot of people are tempted to only put posts on, or if you like, add content that is in some way an offer, an event or something like that. People don't tend to put posts on their Google Business Profile like they do on their website. If you are updating your website, if you're updating your website, update your Google Business Profile. So whatever content you write for your website, don't copy it exactly, because Google doesn't like duplicate content because it affects the user experience. Unique content, like the other content, put it on your Google Business Profile. It's really, 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 really important that you interact with your audience. If you haven't got a website, Google Business Profile will give you a website. It's a great way of getting a temporary website and having a web presence if you haven't got to the point where you've built your own. But I probably wouldn't use it as a substitute for my actual website. And to finish off, the final thing about Google Business Profile, how do I know I have 300 interactions a month on Google from Google Business Profile? It has free analytics. I don't know what there's not to like about it. It tells me what's working and what isn't working. I can do A to B testing on posts. Basically, before I try any paid ads, Google Business Profile provides all the data for you. It tells you how many people clicked anything. It tells you how many people called your website, how many people called the business, how many people clicked to visit the website, etc., etc. It's got a full analytical package. It shows you what's working and what you need to focus on. Google Business Profile, done well, you can even explain how expensive you are, which I think is fantastic. Because if someone's looking for the cheapest local garage and you're there and you're saying my services are priced from, they can decide who's going to shop, where they're going to shop and how they're going to shop, all or from your Google Business Profile. I can't understand why businesses do not use their Google Business Profile more and actually spend time learning how to do this. It's very, very simple to do. Google will take you by the hand and it's done in steps. So before I finish, I want to tell you what you should do this week, having listened to this training topic. If you haven't already, get a Google Business Profile. You have to register. They will send you a postcard to the address, the physical address of your business. You can only have one, if you have a physical address. because they send you a postcard with a code in it. You then put that code in on the website, and it allows you to create a site because it knows then that site belongs to you. That's one thing. So once you've got your Google Business Profile, or you already have a Google Business Profile, the next thing to do is make sure all the content on there is up to date and accurate. Make sure it's up to date, accurate, and consistent. Then think about your pictures. Make sure you've got a decent cover picture that might stop people in their tracks if they're looking for a business like yours. Your logo's up to date, and the relevant pictures are of the standard that you would expect. Remember, it'll tell you what size your pictures should be, so you can put the right size pictures up. Are they in portrait? Are they in landscape? All of that stuff matters. And then if you're going to interact with your customers via Google Business Profile, make sure you do it fast. Make sure you're giving the right kind of information on there. Expensive or not expensive. So I've had a quick message from someone, from Ryan. Explain how expensive. Could do with a hint on that, Andy. Very is always a good way, you know. So basically it gives you the option to say prices from, and customers will know whether you're expensive because they know what is expensive to them. Because what is an expensive watch is a great example of this, Ryan. For me, an expensive watch is probably 10 grand, but for somebody else, an expensive watch might be £1 million. Expensive is a relative term. Just put your prices on there. If you do that, what you'll start to get is feedback and information, which will come to you monthly, free of charge. Google will send you an email with your analytics. Look at your analytics and see if you can improve and get more, attract more customers from your locality. Most garages serve their locality. Yeah, become the go-to garage on Google Business Profile for the services you want to provide. The way you do that is up-to-date and accurate content on your Google Business Profile. Thanks for listening. Catch you all next week.